Hi dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings, welcome to the show, and today we are going to look at the game between Sri Lanka and England, which was the 8th match in the ICC Champions Trophy in Group A. And what a match we had here. In fact, Sri Lanka were the ones who were under immense pressure. They were the ones actually having to, they had to win the match to keep their hopes alive, and well they did. And that was led by Sangakarra's wonderful knock, and it was his first century against England in one-day internationals and his 15th one-day international century, as Sangakarra made an unbeaten 134 of 135 balls with 12 fours. And there was one good thing that Sri Lanka did today. They promoted kulasekara during the batting power play, but he didn't do much in the batting power play. But after the batting power play, it was like kulasekara totally exploding with consecutive sixes of Graham Swan, and then smiting Stuart Broad over the fence for a six, and that was a wonderful knock. He contributed a hard-hitting 58 of just 38 deliveries, 5 fours and 3 sixes. And even though England had a final flourish with Ravi Bopara smashing 28 runs of Shaminda Ranga over in the final over, the 50th over of the innings, to take England to 293 for 7. In the end, that was to no avail, as Sangakarra and kulasekara totally wiped off the hopes of England. Well, just talking about the game here, it was good conditions. The conditions were pretty gloomy. It was very cloudy, and the Sri Lankan skipper, winning the toss, decided to insert England first. As far as England were concerned, they had Graham Swan actually coming in place of Treadwell and nuwan kulasekara replacing Thisara Pereira. Initially one thought that was not a good decision, but the way kulasekara played with the bat, promoting him as a pinch hitter, it was absolutely proved that was the right choice by the Sri Lankan cricket think tank. Well, as far as England were concerned, England started with Alistair Cook and Ian Bell. They were pretty steady. Lasith Malinga was absolutely on the money, not giving anything away. In 4 overs in his first spell, he had given away 10 runs and he was troubling the batsman. Cook was absolutely tentative outside the off stump, was poking outside the off stump. He looked in real strife against Lasith Malinga. But as far as other bowlers were concerned, he was playing well. He was dealing with Kulasekara and Iranga very well. And Ian Bell also, even Ian Bell, I wouldn't say he was looking shaky, but Ian Bell was pretty quite self. And both of them put up a very steady partnership of 48 for the first wicket. When the first wicket fell, when Shaminda Ranga provided the breakthrough, when Ian Bell trying to pull Ranga was gone, caught by Pereira for 20. It was the first wicket to go, 48 for 1 for Sri Lanka after in the 12th over. After that, Cook was joined in by Jonathan Trott, and Jonathan Trott, playing in his customary fashion, as you know, he just relies on nudges and pushes to get the singles and go for the runs in a very hard way. And Alistair Cook was giving him company, and this partnership was doing it for England in the sense there was no heroics. It was just pure, I know it was not so easy to bat on at that time. The reason being the conditions were making it a bit difficult, and it was pretty essential for Cook and Trott to actually play at a sedate pace, and that's what they precisely did, and carried the innings over to the 29th over, when Alistair Cook was the man to go, tried to sweep a ball from Rangana Herath and was adjudged LBW for 59 of 85 balls with 3 fours, which made the score 131 for 2. And after that, there was one more good partnership. Joe Root came and joined Trott. Trott was actually today, he was really keeping the scoreboard busy. Joe Root also joined him in doing the same. In fact, if you look at the partnership, there were not much sixes scored. There was not lots of boundaries. But Joe Root also showed some inventiveness by playing a ramp shot, and Jonathan Trott, and this partnership. So there was there were a lot of building of partnerships for England. And it looked at that particular stage when England were looking pretty good at 218 for 3 in the 41st over, and it looked like a final onslaught. The batting power play, not much runs coming from the power play because they lost the wicket of I thought Joe Root, but later on the score went on to 218 thanks to Jonathan Trott and Joe Root. But Trott was dismissed after that when in the 42nd over, and this is the time when England had a real lull in proceedings, and they started losing wickets at a pretty rapid rate. Because what happened was from 218 for 3 at 18 for 2, when Jonathan Trout departed, trying to attempt a sweep shot against LBW, attempting a sweep shot against Rangana Herath, was out LBW for 76 of 87 balls with 5 fours, which made the score 218 for 3. And after that, there was a clatter of wickets. Joe Root was the next to go, trying to actually hit Malinga. He actually pulled Malinga, in fact, and he skied the ball to Jayawardene. He was gone for 68. It was a slower delivery from Malinga, very well bowled. But Joe Root contributed in a great measure there, I would say, because he contributed 68 of 55 balls with 5 fours. Jonathan Trout's contribution was 76 of 87 balls with 5 fours. And the two big hitters left pretty early. It was Malinga actually getting Morgan LBW for 13, and Josh Butler didn't even trouble the scorers, as he was gone, getting a thin edge onto a bowling of Kulasekara, and Kumar Sangakarra behind the stumps took the catch, and he was gone for a duck, which made the score 249 for 6. And when Bresnan departed, clean bowled by Shaminda Aranga for 4. It was looking at a time when it was looking like England would first at the score when it was 218, when Jonathan Trout and Joe Root were there, it looked like 300 was on the cards. And here it was like England were really struggling, and it looked like England probably would be good enough to actually reach 275. But in the last over, Ravi Bopara manhandled Shaminda Aranga, who was given the final over, and Shaminda Aranga was completely shattered there, because 28 runs were taken off his over with some very clean hits from Ravi Bopara. Ravi Bopara smited him over long on for a 6. Then there was an excellent shot that he played, and any player who plays a shot over extra cover for a 6 is considered to be absolutely great, no doubt about that. And Ravi Bopara did that. He crashed him for a 6 over extra cover, then hit one more 6 of Shaminda Aranga over long on, and then a beautiful straight drive for 4 of Aranga, and then another 4. So there were 5 fours in all, and I thought the 4th ball, I think he dug it out. It was a Yorker, and he got 2 runs. So as I said, Shaminda Aranga was totally manhandled by Ravi Bopara in the final over, and that was the final thrust which was given by Ravi Bopara, which took his individual score to an unbeaten 33 of 13 deliveries only, 2 fours and 3 sixes, all coming in that Shaminda Aranga final over. And England went on a high at 293 for 7 thanks to Ravi Bopara. So 293 for 7. Stuart Broad was not out on 7 of 4 balls with 1 4. And look at the bowling figures. Let's have a look at Shaminda Aranga. What damages figures were done by Ravi Bopara. Shaminda Aranga leaked 80 runs of his 10 overs. The final over going for 28 runs. Malinga 10 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 58. Kulasekara 10 overs, no maiden, 1 for 42. Angelo Matthews bowled 6 overs for 28. As far as spin was concerned, Rangana Herath bowled 10 overs, 2 for 46, and 4 overs for 29 for Tilakatne Dilshan. And as far as Sri Lanka were concerned, they started off with Kushal Perera and Dilshan starting the chase for them, but Kushal Perera was dismissed pretty early as Anderson gave them the breakthrough. Perera actually played a good shot. He was trying to hit over the top in the power play overs, in the initial power play overs, but Kushal Perera, even though he couldn't actually middle the bat, he got the top edge of the bat, in the sense when he actually tried to play it was a straight hit actually by Perera, but he was caught by Bopara of the bowling of Anderson for 6, which made the score 10 for 1. So not a good start for Sri Lanka there, but Dilshan was there, and along with Sangakarra. Now this was the time where Sri Lanka started steadying the ship, and it was a nice little partnership where there were no chances taken. Anderson was bowling well, Broad was bowling well at that stage, and Kumar Sangakarra being the veteran, and Dilshan also an experienced person. Dilshan also, eschewed all his normal approach of going for strokes. He was pretty giving good company to Kumar Sangakarra. Kumar Sangakarra, as and when an opportunity presented itself, he was driving well. He drove well for boundary. He was cutting well, pulling well. Dilshan also, on the other hand, whenever he used to get an opportunity, he also used to do the same. But it was a workmanlike innings from Sangakarra, who was really playing like an anchor man, and Dilshan was, and only when Dilshan started opening up, Dilshan's wicket was gone, and that was with the Sri Lankan score on 102 in the 21st over. And they were not really rushing on. It was a sort of a very professional approach by Sri Lanka, I thought. And Dilshan was gone as Graham Swan took his wicket. Dilshan tried to loft Graham Swan, and Joe Root at the deep took the catch, and he was gone for 44 of 56 balls with 3 fours and 1 6. So 102 for 2. And this was the time it needed an injection, because 102 for 2, the required run rate was really climbing up. But with Mahela Jayawardene coming into the picture, suddenly the Sri Lankan innings got a sort of a slow transformation, with Jayawardene actually coming in and keeping the scoreboard busy. He started that he was showing himself in form. Initially he was a bit beaten, but that didn't really bother. Jayawardene slowly got himself into form by neatly taking the singles, playing some forceful strokes, and he also hit some very good sweet boundaries. And Sangakarra, in the company of Jayawardene, also decided to show some aggression, and both of them started doing pretty well for Sri Lanka, because at a time when the score was 102 for 2 when Dilshan departed, the score went on to 187. So 85 runs were added in 15 overs, which was pretty good going, because they had to actually up the run rate, and Sri Lanka pretty much did that, with Sangakarra and Jayawardene playing some very good strokes. And in fact, it was more of Jayawardene actually playing a lot of strokes. Sangakarra was actually playing second fiddle at that particular stage of the game. And it looked like when the power play was coming, it was looking like the game was slowly slipping away from England at that particular stage. But but England actually in the batting power play got the very important wicket of Mahela Jayawardene, who was caught by Baristow trying to actually hit a ball from Anderson, who's gone for 42. And also Mahela Jayawardene also showed a lot of pluck in actually lofting Stuart Broad for a beautiful 6, and he was gone for 42 or 43 balls, 3 fours and 1 6. And that was the time the batting power play was going. That was the first ball of the batting power play, which yielded a wicket. And at 187 for 3, Sri Lanka really sprung a surprise at that particular stage, promoting Nuwan Kulasekara as a pinch hitter. But when he came in, Nuwan Kulasekara came in, but he was struggling. He was not able to really connect to the ball. And the batting power play for Sri Lanka didn't yield much, thanks to Sangakarra actually stroking a few. They got 31 runs off that particular batting power play. And they also lost the wicket of Jayawardene. And Sangakarra was looking good. And then suddenly, till the batting power play, things were looking like, again, England were really trying to come back into the game after the Jayawardene wicket. And Sangakarra was also, Sangakarra was definitely playing strokes, no doubt about that. And Kulasekara, he was promoted actually as a pinch hitter, and one would have probably thought that he would have done a great lot in the batting power play, but he surprised everybody by just getting onto the long handle only after the batting power play. After the batting power play, what Kulasekara did was something which really transformed the game. He started going aerial by hitting, at that particular time Kulasekara was only getting a run-up ball in the batting power play, but after the batting power play it was a different Kulasekara, and that was needed, and Kulasekara gave them a good injection of runs by actually thumping Graham Swan for 2 successive sixes in a particular over, which went for 18 runs. And then he turned his attention to Stuart Broad and actually hit him for a magnificent 6. It was a huge one of Broad, and suddenly Kulasekara getting that 6s also brought more runs for him, as he started also slamming boundaries of all the bowlers. And Kumar Sangakarra then slowly started hitting a lot of boundaries after getting the confidence that Kulasekara is playing well. He also started doing the same by hitting a lot of boundaries. Some very good drives being played by Sangakarra, and the score started galloping at that particular stage. And after that, there was absolutely no looking back. Kumar Sangakarra went on to a wonderful century, and in the end, it was all over for England. England's, the body language started. Body language was telling on England. You could see the body language of the English fielders there, and it really put lots of pressure on them. And in the end, it really became like a cakewalk for Sri Lanka in the end, with Kumar Sangakarra returning unbeaten 134 of 135 balls with 12 fours, and Kulasekara, what a knock he played. He came in today in place of Thisara Perera and totally justified that with an unbeaten 58 of just 38 deliveries, 5 fours and 3 beautiful sixes hit by Kulasekara, which really transformed the game. But Kumar Sangakarra's workman-like innings of 134 of 135 balls with 12 fours fetched him the man of the match. The bowling, well, everyone got a tap. Anderson, well, there were a lot of words being exchanged between Anderson and Sangakarra. Anderson was doing a lot of chirping in the ears of Sangakarra. Sangakarra was responding with the bat, and it was not good to see, but there was real banter there because of the pressure being put on the Englishman. 10 overs no maiden, 2 for 51 for Anderson. Stuart Broad, 8.1 overs no maiden, none for 67, leaked a lot of runs today. They couldn't get any swing later on because the sun started shining brightly there. And Tim Bresnan, 10 overs, none for 63. Root was very costly, 3 overs, 1 for 27. Swan, 10 overs, 1 for 50 after getting pasted by Nuwan Kulasekara for 2 sixes. And Ravi Bopara bowled 6 overs for 33. Kumar Sangakarra took away the man of the match award. And as I said, it was a victory for Sri Lanka, which was direly needed because they had to do that to keep their hopes for the semi-finals. And here they are. They have opened up the Group A in a very big fashion now. It's probably all the matches which are coming in Group A are going to be pretty important. And what a game we had, and what a transformation, how really things swung around for Sri Lanka with that big bashing from Nuwan Kulasekara towards the end. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, tomorrow the next game, with the 9th game of the ICC Champions Trophy, is going to be between South Africa and West Indies, and I'm afraid the news from there is not so good. I'm told in Cardiff it has been raining there. In fact, there is also forecast for rain tomorrow. Probably we might have a match which is truncated, or probably we'll have a match which might go, if at all it goes the whole hog, one has to really thank the rain. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, hope that match goes ahead because it's very important for both the teams, South Africa and West Indies, and hope we have a full game and the rain gods stay away. Well, with that from your host Ram today in this Cricket Happening show, I would like to end it and see you all tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.